Good morning and happy Monday. It's time for another Mindful Play Monday Live. And today we're making a fun breathing game that's going to help us monitor and visualize our breathing patterns as well as help us with self-regulation. I have my trusty sidekick Miso here, so if you hear him talking in the background, that's what's going on. He's been very cuddly and talkative this morning. So we'll see if he can behave for us while we work on our crafts today. So for our breathing activity, you need some construction paper, a straw. Good morning, thanks for joining us. A pom pom, or if you don't have pom poms, you can also use a cotton ball. Some tape. You can jazz it up a bit if you want to use washi tape or different colored masking tapes. Those will also work. A pencil, because we're going to do some tracing, scissors, and then I've got a couple of different round objects here, and we're going to use these to trace along to help us make a cone. So I've got a larger one, just like a kid's plate, or a smaller one, the bowl, just something that's circular to give us a nice outline to trace, because we're going to be making these little cones. Good morning, thanks for joining us. We are making some breathing games today. So you need a straw, you need that construction paper, and then you can use either a cotton ball or a little pom-pom. You can jazz it up a little bit. I'm going to show you, you can make them a little bit smaller if you have older kids that are have a little stronger fine motor skills, or you can make the larger cones too for your younger kids. And then what we're going to do, I'll show you here, is use that to monitor and help us visualize our breathing. So let's get started. Good morning, thanks for joining us. The first thing you're going to want to do is take your piece of construction paper, and I'm going to move over my materials here. Yes, we hear you, Miso. I'm going to demonstrate with the smaller circle today. So you're going to line up your bowl, your plate, your cup, whatever circular object you're using as a stencil. You're going to line it up like so. So you're kind of at the halfway point of your bowl, and you're going to trace to have that half circle. So I will trace around the outside of my bowl and then show you what that looks like and cut that out. This is going to be our template. This is going to give us that nice rounded shape to make our cone, and that cone is going to hold our cotton ball or our little pom-pom to help us with our breathing. So once you have your nice half circle there, you're going to fold it in half like so. Just kind of pinch right there at the middle, and that'll show you where your middle spot is. You can kind of see the line there in the middle. Yes, we hear you, Miso. And now you're going to fold each corner of your half circle towards that middle point, and that's going to give you your nice cone shape. So kind of like a little party hat. Now, you don't want to fold it or wrap it too tight that you don't have an opening. You need to leave a little opening. You can kind of see the circle there at the bottom, because that is where we are going to insert our straw. Now, I do prefer to use the bendy straws for this, so the ones that have like the little accordion bend right there, and that's going to make it a little bit easier to hold on to. So I'm going to wrap my cone back in its nice little shape and make sure I leave a little circle, and you can kind of measure with your straw how big you need that circle to be. So I need it to be a little bit bigger, and around there. Now, this is where you can use your pretty washi tape if you want to make it colorful, or some pretty different colored masking tape. I just grabbed the plain clear Scotch tape today, so that's what I had handy. But you could, of course, decorate your cone and make it look a little bit neater or nicer, more festive. And then I'm also going to take another piece of tape, and I've pulled, let me show you the inside there. I have pulled the edge of the straw kind of towards the bottom. So you don't want it sticking all the way up like that. You want to pull it so it's kind of at the bottom of your cone. And then I'm going to take another piece of tape and secure the cone onto the end of the straw. I think that's long enough. We'll see here. Now, you can use, again, if you have different rainbow colored pom-poms, that's fun. You can also just use a simple cotton ball. And of course, if you are making these in your classroom, you'll want to somehow, maybe with like a Sharpie, write your students' initials or write their names onto the straw, or actually onto the cone would probably be a little bit easier before you roll it up, because we do not want to be sharing straws. We do not want our kiddos swapping their germs through the straw. So each kid gets their own straw. Make sure that it is labeled so they know that it is theirs. And these are a couple of the small ones. You can also make larger cones, and you would just trace a larger circular object. I use this plate. And you're going to put I'm going to put a different color in there so I can see it a little better. Put your pom-pom right down in the center of the cone, and then tell your students or your kiddos to blow into the straw. First, let's make a prediction. What do we think is going to happen? If we blow into the straw, what might happen? So you can make a prediction, make a guess about what's going to happen to the pom-pom. Will it stay there? Will it fly up? Will it kind of bounce up and down? Talk about it, make your predictions, and then start with one really big, strong breath and see what happens. You can see it pops right up. Now this is the smaller cone, so it takes a little more force. So if you do have older kiddos, use a smaller cone. If you have younger kiddos, use a bigger cone. And you can see it flies right out there. It's shot across the room. Now, the real test is going to be when you put your pom-pom in there to try to catch it back in the same cone. So, of course, you're going to have fun shooting them across the room initially. But now the whole point is we want to focus on our breathing. So we want to be able to monitor our breathing and see how when we change our breathing patterns and speeds that the pom-pom will either go faster or slower. And it's a nice visual tool to help us recognize and understand those breathing patterns and how they can affect us. So this time we're going to go a little bit slower. So I'll see if I can angle it this way. If you just blow nice and slow without actually giving a lot of force, you'll see the pom-pom just kind of spins around or moves inside the cone without actually jumping out. So you can kind of see how it's moving around in there. So now let's practice different breathing. We could take short, calm breaths, and that's going to make the pom-pom spin, 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 kind of like a little tornado. Watch. Lisa, you want to turn? I don't think you can have the straw. Watch again. So I'm kind of at a weird angle there with the camera, but you get the idea. So you're going to be practicing your different types of breathing. And then, let me get a different color so it really shows up there. With these smaller cones, you can really increase the challenge of trying to catch the pom-pom back. Ready? Oh, see, it's harder, isn't it? Now, if you go back to the larger cone. It is hard, especially in front of the camera. Here we go. So it's kind of jumping up and down in there. But you get the idea. So these are quick, simple, fun little breathing tools. It's kind of a fun little breathing game. Now, if you're not in the classroom, if you're at home and you're not worried about sharing germs or anything, you can actually turn this into a great gross motor activity too. Use the larger cones, have two kiddos or you and your child across from each other and try to blow the pom-pom into the other person's cone and see if they can catch it. So that's kind of another way to work on some gross motor skills in addition to visualizing and understanding our breathing. Just like that, you could try to shoot them across the room and catch them in the other person's cone. So quick and easy. All we needed today was straws, construction paper, pom-poms or cotton balls, and then we used just the outer edge of a plate or a bowl to draw that circle, which helped us make the perfect little rounded cone shape. So, Lisa will say goodbye. Did you have fun today? You like those breathing cones? Yeah. Give it a try this week. Let us know how you like them. You can do them with your students or kiddos at home to help you visualize your breathing, and then use that as a reminder when you are in those more challenging moments and you need help regulating your breathing. You can say, hey, do you remember at home when we made our breathing cones? Can you practice those short, calm breaths just like we did with our cones? Pretend you have your pom-pom and you don't want to lose that pom-pom. So that can be a great reminder to help them go back and practice their breathing in times of need. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time for another Mindful Play Monday. Every Monday, 10 a.m. here on Instagram, pending any issues with sick kiddos or other events going on. We will have this recording up on our YouTube channel for easy access, as well as saved here on Instagram. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.